Please don't get mad at me. I'm so sorry. I left a note at the bottom to say I would be back around 7:20, but I came a little earlier. So I am extremely sorry that I am so late. Yes. Late, late, late. Let me see if I can change the time. All right, all right, all right. I'm late. I'm late, discombobulated, and all over the place. Let me tell you guys what happened since you guys are early. Um, I went over to Maggie's really quick on her panel just to have a quick chit chat with her about what was going on with OJ Patrice, because I remember that conversation that they were having back in the day. And I do remember being on the panel, and I remember OJ Patrice trying to warn us about Jag, and she was trying to warn us, like, stay away from her. She's a bad apple, and da 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 da. Okay, and so we didn't adhere to that. I stayed, kept going, and Maggie, we all just kept going. I was in it too. And I remember doing a video on OJ Patrice saying that she tried to warn us. Is that Sam? Hello, Sam. How have you been? Is she still on here? She probably went on the bed. See, she won't be able to hang out but I'm thinking of you all. Hope Isabella is feeling recovered. She is actually. She's taking a break from YouTube. It'll make you do it. I'm surprised I'm still doing it. I am. I am so surprised that I am still doing YouTube that I can't believe it. And I do it because of you guys. I come back every time because of you. Anyway, what happened on the phone call on the panel was that OJ Patrice was telling her story about what happened to her and Jag, and then Jag popped in, but Maggie did not have a conversation with Jag behind the scenes. Jag had access to everything Maggie had. She had access to everything. Remember when she told me to get off the, if you don't want to hear what I got to say, you can get off? She was on Maggie's platform telling me to get off of Maggie's platform if I didn't want to listen to her. So she had took it over. Maggie didn't have access. She had access to her panel, but she don't know how much she had given it up to Jag. Jag had took her stuff. And so that's when I hung up. But the point is that I think OJ Patrice, she has a right to address Maggie and, tell her she didn't appreciate whatever. But to not forgive or to not be like, you know what? Because she didn't know Maggie. OJ Patrice didn't know Maggie like I knew her. And you heard her. If you go over there and listen to it, that's as nice as Maggie has been. Slow the chat all the way down, sweetheart. We miss you, Sam. I didn't get to say hello to you. I am sorry. Hello, Karen. Hello, Snowdrop. Hello, JD. Hello, guys. Yes, thank you, Snowdrop. I'm so sorry I was running late, guys. And I like to time it as close as possible to when I'm going to come on. And then I had to run to the store because I told my husband I would go. he was going to go. I was like, no, I'll go. And I went to the store. I had to pick up some medication for myself, and Kara wanted some Sprite. I know that I am not a good mom to give my daughter Sprite. I'm not a good mom when it comes to that. When it comes to what she wants, Kara gets. And it's not good. It's not good. And Isabella used to get on me about that. Anyway, the OJ Patrice thing. So it went mostly like Maggie said, but then Jag got on the phone, okay, jumped on the panel and started talking about the days of the events. They were going back and forth about what had happened between them two. I had just lost, when they started talking, I kind of zoned out and didn't remember what they were talking about, Jaguar or Patrice. I didn't know. All I know is that Patrice had apologized to Jag for doing something. She had apologized for showing her address and showing it on, I think, Danny Robinson's show. And wow, Jag was in some mess. And she apologized. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that she would apologize to Jag. You know, that's upstanding because people don't usually apologize. You know, people do, but it doesn't come easy, because when you have to admit guilt, it's like, oh, God, I did do that, kind of a thing. And so after we got off, there was some things said about OJ Patrice that wasn't nice. Now, if she's talking about that time, then yes, it was some stuff said, some FUs, some Bs, and stuff like that. And then, you know, we went off. But I just remember telling Maggie that I said, OJ Patrice is a really upstanding person to apologize to Jag. I did. I thought so. I still think so today, and so on. What I don't understand is the unforgiveness. It's probably going to be there, but OJ Patrice is just probably just venting right now to let Maggie know that what she did, whatever it was, that she was upset. And if I said anything, OJ Patrice, I apologize as well. Because I don't remember saying anything, but I'm an agreeer. I probably was agreeing, like, yeah, doing that stuff. Hello, Judy Bird. Hello, Snowdrop. Letitia, you have another live advertising, and I think a few people are over there. You're right. I'm all over the place. What should I do, Bird? Should I just stop and start another one? Because this one says that one's not open anymore. So even if they were over there, they couldn't go open that one. I'm so sorry. I got everything jacked up. Let me go out. I'll be right back. I got to. We're in the right one. We're where we are. Where are we supposed to be? If there's another live open, it shouldn't be because I deleted that one. But we do have few people in here. But if it's just us, it's just us. We're gonna finish watching the end of we're gonna finish watching the end of Meghan's interview. Oh God. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see the interview, put a 2 in the chat if you just gonna watch it, because I'm gonna make us watch it. Be you. Be you. And that's all you can be, is be you. Yep, be you. Yeah. That, to me, honestly, that was the nicest Maggie has been. I haven't seen that Maggie. That Maggie is not there, girlfriend. It comes out every now and then, but for the most part, Maggie was a sweetheart back then. She was. Anyway, not that she's not a sweetheart now. What I'm saying is that before Jag got a hang of her, people need to understand that she was under a spell. She probably still mentally going through that and think that she's under attack. I would be like, God dang, I'm never going to be forgiven. and then I would honestly, what I would do is I would look at myself too in the mirror and say, okay, Letitia, what could you do better? Hello, Polly. She didn't need to yell at Maggie. I didn't think so either. And Chloe, though they was not nice at all. I agree with you, Polly. I really do. I just think that I know OJ Patrice was pissed off and upset when she hung up that day, but that was understandable. But she's throwing her frustration at the wrong person. And it's at Jag. I really do believe that. I don't understand the unforgiving also. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. You can't do nothing in Sector T. Because if you do something in Sector T, you're ew. And don't go on someone else's channel. Oh God, that don't like someone. That's a big no-y to the no-y to the no-y to the. Yeah, I need to redo my hair. I know I do. It is time. It's time. It's time to make a change. We are the people who can do it. I can't sing. Hello, Sue. Yes, Duty Bird, I believe I did. It's not there. Can you go in there? Hi, Sensitive. Yeah, go in there. Somebody go in there and tell them that this live is broke. If it's open, go tell them that it's broke and they need to come over here. Can you guys do that for me? 1 or 2? Okay. Yes, we're definitely going to want to watch it. I can even rewind it to the beginning if you want me to. Yeah, 1 has to be done too. Yes, she did. Polly, you understand? They are. They are. There was a lot that went down. It really was. And she's probably, I don't know how long she's going to have to apologize. But she's going to have to prove herself to be trustworthy. And it might take some time for some people. But she has nothing else to lose. That's why I know that she is sorry. She's nowhere. She's against the wall. She's against the brick. She's against all odds. There's nothing left for her to do but to apologize and say, you know what, throw my hands up and be like, I surrender. I don't know what the hell. And that's what she did. No, she did not tell me that, Duty Bird. I did see the chat, but I don't remember Maggie going off on OJ Patrice. When was that? I know they was on a live together recently, and OJ Patrice snapped on Maggie, and she's well within her right to do so. Excuse me, because she felt Maggie, did something wrong to her, and it's on the video. You can see it. Yeah. I just finished listening to the whole awful interview, but things are always fun here, so I could probably handle it again here. I hope that we have a good time with it. Is Cleo the fake dude therapist? No, I don't think is she a therapist? Highly sensitive. Hello? Polly, I sat in the bushes. The channel isn't for me. I was there to hear and be down on Jag, not OJ Patrice, to go off like that. Yeah, she did. She called it a effery and she was upset. But I think she was upset with Jag more so than Maggie. Because I think she's been watching from the bushes too. And she's coming out, wait a minute. And you can say that OJ Patrice was one of Jag's victims. Of course. Yes, I noticed that is horribly. I didn't even know that they were sectors until people in the other chat started coming at me. I didn't know there were sectors either. I said, what the hell? I'm in a sector? Polly. I was like, sector? Aren't we all in this YouTube game together? There's sections. There's sectors. Oh, there's sectors. I'm in the Meghan sector, the Mexit community. And Maggie was in the Mexican community, but she stopped. I believe she got bored with Meghan, like I'm getting bored with her too. Hello, Christine. Yeah. I went there and left a message to come here. God, they're over there. Oh my God. What did I do? Yeah, this is the only one that's out there. I deleted that other one. So sorry about that. Sorry, sorry, sorry. You think they'll come, Judy Bird? We have 17 people. I'm missing my people. Where my people at? Come on, you're missing the gossip. They did. They did talk about it. That's right, Polly. They did. I did hear them talk about it. I know Maggie was upset. She did? Jag is coming in, people. There are sectors in the Mexican community as well. Okay, I'm somewhere in there. Okay, I'm somewhere in there because I watched everybody. River, everybody. But that is so funny, Debbie. So what sector am I in? In the Mexican community? The exit part or the Meg part? What happened, Christine? Why did you get in trouble, girlfriend? Was because of you were friends with Maggie? What happened? You're more than welcome to come up here and tell me. Or it's up to you, lovely. Just because I'm Maggie's mod. See, they got mad because you was Maggie's mod. That sorry about that. Oh, do the bird. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Judy Bird, for all your help. What a mod. What a mod. What a mod. Mod. What a very good mod. Christine Gilbert. Oh my God, girl. I got mine beautiful the first day I watched and unsubscribed because I don't like that. I still watch Danny because it's always good stuff. Layla Tisha, the other link is not showing up for me. The only link that pops up for me is this one. I think this link is working and the other one does not work. That's correct, Polly, because I deleted it. Thank you. I like River too. Oh, wow. You stood your ground very well. I would have left and never came back, but you're like a pit bull saying that kindly. Oh, well, good for you, Christine. For keep taking up for yourself. I knew what you meant. Madito. Madi do. Madi do. Everything's a do. I told my mom, she laughed. Hello, Diddy Dop. Layla Tisha, but I'm hardly here. Thank you for saying I'm a good mod. You are. I like all my mods. You guys are awesome. You don't have to do it. And it's yeah, you don't have to do it. But you okay. Love you guys. Let's get to it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And let's go back and let's look at Meghan. Now, now, do you guys want to see it from the beginning or where we left off? Put a 1 in the chat if you want it from the beginning. A 2 in the chat where we left off. I need those 2s and 1s, guys. 30 seconds. I don't have a clock. I don't know how Maggie them do it. They have like this little clock thing that they can use. And it's so awesome. I should have asked her. I got a 1. I got a 0. Tropical life. 2. I got a lot of 2s. 2. Oh, please don't make us suffer. Okay. I just thought y'all would want to get the full effect. The beginning. We'll start here. Letitia, Lady Letitia, just Google timer and pulls that up. Where? You mean a timer? Like I can just do it. Let me see. Timer. Okay. Oh, well, this looks hard. Like that is just so boring. Okay. All right. Hey! Ooh, girl, I'm gonna have to figure it out a little bit more, a little bit more. Oh, you can tell I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right.
Very hard thing to put into action to actually integrate. Yeah, but it's become so ingrained in my.
Okay, what's going on? Okay, it's saying something stupid. HRH? Is she using HRH? What happened to the. Okay, where is it? Video. I don't know what happened to it. Three minutes. Come on. Where did it just go? Oh, okay. I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay, Meghan Markle's entire video. Guys, it's like disappeared. Oh, here it is. Okay, we're gonna start right. What is going on? It keeps doing weird stuff. It is not being used in a different location. What is. Okay, it's doing some weird things, guys. Let me show you. Let me show you what's going on. Oh, they're not getting along. The baby and the daddy. Now, why did they do that? Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to go check. See, what the hell? They took it off. What's that girl's name? What's wrong, guys? Okay. Okay, so that's the one I just clicked on that didn't work. See? Okay. Let me show y'all what I'm doing so you won't just be sitting here. Okay, so that one didn't work. Oh, that can't be the whole thing. That's the preview. Guys, we don't have it. It literally won't let me play it. Oh, that hurts. Okay, here she go. Here it is. I want to see the video. Okay, this sucks.
This is so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you.
How are
We
we?
spend so much of our life trying to prove something. To prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss. Like, because I know that I'm a great friend. And I know that
No, you're not.
I know the kind of human being I am.
If you
I
gotta
know how I
say
show
you
up.
are, you're not.
And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now. Getting out of the prove it game,
Yeah.
feels like joy, tastes like freedom. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview. It's happening! It's happening!
Oh, the roses are coming back in.
They're coming back in. Yes, they're coming back
Spring
in.
is sprung.
I'm so grateful you're here. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Hi, crew.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
No, she
You look so
crying.
I have not done a show in no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look
What's wrong,
exactly the
guys?
same though. These are some of the hot questions that everyone wants to know.
Oh.
Talk about your name. Do you use Markle anymore? What's your morning
You
routine?
know what, guys?
Would you ever write another
Unfortunately,
People are often curious if I'm going to
I'm
write a
happy
memoir.
to.
Would you ever run for office? Can you give us one hint on something exciting coming up for As Ever? I have had your jam in my refrigerator. all year. No one knows. No one's seen it. I have not posted it. In this incredible conversation, Meghan shares stories and insights for
Look
the
at
first
this.
time ever.
It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so
This isn't
deeply.
working.
And I love being able to see your
We can't
growth.
see her act
Because that man loves me
stupid.
so
That's no
much.
fun.
And look what we built. We built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. That's my husband.
Yeah.
He's out there just constant, like he's just going to
Meghan.
do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights.
Are you in love now more than ever?
So I feel like it's more of a honeymoon period for us now. He's
Yes,
also
she
a
did.
fox. If you haven't noticed, my
Susan.
husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
I have a letter from your
Okay, here's the
husband
bad news.
and your kids. No one's ever seen this before.
We can't watch the live one
Of all things, it's making
for
me
some
emotional.
stupid reason.
I have full body chills right now.
They took it
For them to
off.
be able
I'm
to
having
look
a hard
back and
time
go,
getting it.
oh my gosh, she
Or we
has
listen
loved
to
us so
them talk.
much.
I've tried everything.
She's an American member of the British royal family, an entrepreneur, author,
Oh God.
actor,
A
founder
member
of
of
the
the
lifestyle
royal
brand
family.
As Ever.
You hear
Just
that?
sold out of stock completely in the
A
first
member of the
hour of its
royal
recent
family.
launch into the world. Congratulations.
Sure.
Her new Netflix show, With Love, Meghan,
She's
just
all
debuted
this.
season 1
Oh,
of the top
God.
10 show on Netflix. She's also a mom to her 2 beautiful kids,
No
Prince Archie
way.
and Princess Lilibet, and wife to husband Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. She's a mama of rescue dogs, and she's also
Listen to this
an incredible
resume.
champion of women and an amazing friend.
This is
She
crazy.
just recently debuted her brand new podcast called Confessions of a Female Founder,
Listen.
where while Meghan builds out a business
Oh, God,
of her
why can't
own,
we see
she's
it?
getting advice and insights from
Don't do this
amazing
to
women
me.
who have scaled small ideas into successful companies. And guess what? I am.
Listen to this. Did you hear all that stuff? A royal family, a member of the royal family, the Duchess of Sussex, a podcaster, as ever, a jammer, a mother, a wife, a philanthropist, an advocate for women. She is reading us her resume. This is her site. This is Jamie's site. They took it down. Why? Because people were mocking it. Dang it. I could have downloaded it. Shoot. I am just beside myself. So we got to listen to it. They took it down. Do we know anybody that has the full video? God, dang it. I know the twins do. Okay, I know I'm not prepared. Let's keep listening. But did you hear her resume? It just sounds, oh God, it makes me cringe. Listen to a mom, an entrepreneur, this and a that, and a do, and a that, and a do, and she does this, she does that, and she does this.
I'm so grateful to be one of her guests on her show as well. Meghan and I just had the most incredible conversation on insights and stories that I've never shared before. From when I was a waitress at Denny's with big dreams but a whole lot of self-doubt, to starting IT Cosmetics in my living room, getting hundreds of no's for years. I share the stories behind the stories, some for the first time ever on Meghan's brand new podcast. Our episode comes out tomorrow. So make sure you listen and share it with everyone you know who it could help inspire, whether it's, to keep going in their business or in their dreams. So we're going to link to that episode of her podcast in our show notes as well. Hi, and welcome to the Jamie Kern-Lima Show. And if we're just meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Jamie.
You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You have to prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am loss.
Got
Like,
it.
because I know that I'm a great friend. And I know the kind of mom I am. And I know the kind of human being I am. And I know how I show up.
Chit chat.
Of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you.
Ever that just sold out of. She's an American member of the British Royal
Family.
Entrepreneur.
Actor.
Founder of the lifestyle brand As Ever that just sold out of stock completely in the first hour of its recent launch into the world. Congratulations. Her new Netflix show, With Love, Meghan, just debuted season 1 as a top 10 show on Netflix. She's also a mom to her 2 beautiful kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, and wife to husband Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. She's a mama of rescue dogs. She's also an incredible champion of women and an amazing friend. She just recently debuted her brand new podcast called Confessions of a Female Founder, where while Meghan builds out a business of her own, she's getting advice and insights from amazing women who have scaled small ideas into successful companies. And guess what? I am so grateful to be one of her guests on her show as well. Meghan and I just had the most incredible conversation on insights and stories that I've never shared before. From when I was a waitress at Denny's with big dreams but a whole lot of self-doubt, to starting IT Cosmetics in my living room, getting hundreds of no's for years. I share the stories behind the stories, some for the first time ever on Meghan's brand new podcast. Our episode comes out tomorrow. So make sure you listen and share it with everyone you know who it could help inspire, whether it's to keep going in their business or in their dreams. So we're going to link to that episode of her podcast in our show notes as well. Hi, and welcome to the Jamie Kern-Lima Show. And if we're just meeting for the first time, hi.
I can speed her up, though.
Welcome.
I'll speed her up.
Welcome to the Jamie Kern-Lima Show.
Oprah, how have you defied the odds?
Her show.
And companies, and also talking about hardships, failures, pain. Premiere of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever
talking. And I think, well, to answer, when you're saying someone writes in saying, how do you make friends as an adult? It's such a great question to find that depth of friendship at the onset. I think it's kind of
friendship
when you're on a plane. And I remember back in the day, you'd sit next to a stranger and sometimes you'd feel more comfortable telling your life story to a complete stranger than the person that is part of your day to day. And so you start with that immediate trust, but I guess the difference is for us, it's just become so lasting.
Yeah.
So lasting.
And so just multi-layered.
Oh, yeah.
Trust is such a big deal. And this is your first ever podcast interview. Thank you for trusting.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild. Thank you for trusting me to be here. You haven't seen any of the questions ahead of time. And we're in our sweats. And you have your Archie and Lily on your amazing.
I made that on Etsy. Last year it's faded, but this is what I would wear if I come to your house. So
all the time. And you look the exact same with no makeup as makeup. And we're
that's very
and you still love me even when we get together. If I haven't showered, it's still all the same. And so today is special. And I want to just open up by, because we've had so many conversations about this where we've talked about how special and important it is for friends to check in on each other and say, are you okay? And I think so many women watching and listening, they maybe are the strong one in their family, or they're the one that has it all together, or they're the one everyone goes to for advice, or they're maybe crushing it at work and on the outside, everything looks great. And so people just assume they're great. They just assume they're great. So my very first question, because I think in friendship, it's so important. And I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about. But how are you doing? There's so much going on.
Oh, this is exactly what she wants to do. She wants to talk about herself.
It's a lot of pinch me moments right now. And at the same time, I think because I'm so busy,
she thinks she's
with so many different things. And for each of those projects to mention the show or the podcast or the brand,
The
the business.
podcast, the brand,
The most important thing
or
that I
the
work on every day,
TIG, or
my
the
practice is trying to really
Instagram,
integrate it, to integrate the
whichever.
joy, to integrate, like we say, like, you have to be thankful. Like, yes, you're thankful. Like, yeah, I'm thankful, but I have to go to this next meeting. It's like, no, can you just take a minute to
You're
really
so busy,
signal and
girlfriend.
cue that, oh, happy, thank you, more please. This feels really good. This is what I worked so hard for. So that's my practice
She's working so
of being
hard.
still in the midst of how busy it is. But I'm happy. I'm happy. And the kids are healthy and H is great. And
H is
so,
great.
that's the stuff that fills my cup. But I'm trying to also enjoy these big wins right now.
Yes.
It's
Enjoy
boring.
them.
She already told us in the cut.
I remember one of the few things I regret about my journey building cosmetics is I was just like, oh my gosh, I almost couldn't believe everything happening, and also I was so busy. And when I look back, I'm like, I forgot to have fun and I forgot to celebrate it. And this morning I was talking to your husband and I said, this is going to be my goal. This is her favorite interview ever. And
Right.
he goes, well, my goal is you guys just have fun. Just have fun.
Sweet.
And I'm like, you're
Yeah,
right. You're
just have
right.
fun. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're able to have fun being so busy right now?
I think so. And
So
also,
they're both trying to say they don't have.
it depends on how you define fun.
Yeah.
Right. So when we were in our 20s, fun is something very different than now. Now fun is we go have a really nice dinner and drink some yummy wine, or fun is just, can we just carve out a couple hours? Well, last week, though I had lots of meetings, I made it a point to still go and see a Broadway show. Seen a show?
Go see a show.
I hadn't seen a Broadway show in so long. I mean, we saw Hamilton when Lin-Manuel, they came to London for a premiere, but that still, I probably haven't seen a Broadway show for over a decade. And it was so energizing to watch. And like, and for me, that was a really great experience of fun, but also affirmation that why is this lighting me up so much to watch creativity in action? It's like, oh, because that's what I get to do again. That's what I'm doing with all the projects I'm working on. Like, I had missed being creative and I'd missed being able to just have my hands in the granular of time-coded edits and bringing a vision to life. And when you watch artists do that and do that with such passion, I think it was just the most inspiring.
She called herself an artist.
Yeah, carving that out and not saying, no, I can't go to New York. Yes, you can go to
New
York.
Herself an artist.
You can make time to do that and go with friends, and you can go have a fun dinner, and still all the rest of it will be there. And you can still hit your deadlines, and actually you might hit them even better because you feel full and balanced.
Yeah. I saw so many photos different people had posted from you at the Broadway show. I saw little girls crying. Little girls so excited to meet you.
They're so sweet.
You and I are great friends. And also for any interview I ever do, I prep like crazy. And one of my favorite parts was just reading so many letters and posts and messages of little girls who are like, oh wow, like whether they're talking about your humble beginnings or talking about their dreams, and like through you and through everything you've done, they believe it's possible. You know, whether it's to be, have a very different life than the one they were raised in, or to launch a business. How do you feel about that?
I take it really seriously.
Yeah.
I think I always check in with my 11-year-old self.
Yeah.
And how important it is to have people that you look up to and role models. I'll tell you.
So you look up to yourself?
Oh gosh, how silly. This is a very, you'll think this is a very bizarre example, but when I was 13, my first job was at a frozen yogurt place called Humphrey Yogurt.
It's good to have role models. It's good to have people to look up to, like my 11-year-old self. So you look up to your 11-year-old self. That's what she said. Don't let me rewind it. I look up to my 11-year-old self. I go back to my 11-year-old self. And it's good to have role models. It really is, to go back. And she found out she was being her own role model, so she changed the subject. Meghan, you are so fake. Don't do interviews. They don't do you no justice. They don't. The Times 100 was so fake. This one's fake. Let's talk about you, Meghan. Let's figure out who the Meghan is. No, nobody care. Don't nobody want to know. The only people that want to know is us. My mom don't care. My sister don't care. They don't know nothing about this interview at all. Juanita, did you know Meghan did an interview on a podcast? Don't be asking me silly questions. No, she don't know nothing. I would have to revamp her into what's going on today with Meghan, because she'll say, you have to catch me up. I'm like, keep up. Keep up. They both claim to be makeup free. Oh, okie dokie. Then why is MM wearing bronzer, blush, foundation, eyeshadow, and lip gloss, highlighter, concealer, and a at a minimum? It takes Susan to just bring it on in. Well, she looked like she got on some blush. Debbie Campbell, it's whatever version she makes up at that moment. I have only one version. She has one to match each of her multiple personalities. How many? Debbie Campbell, it's whatever version she makes up at that moment. I have only one version. She has one to match each of her multiple personalities. Sue and Susan is on a hot streak. She likes this lady for the clout. Oh my God, this lady is digging into Meghan. I love you. You're just so wonderful. You know, we've been friends for years. We've been friends for years. False. She never worked at a yoga place at 13. It's illegal. She never worked. Her dad took care of her. Hi, Karen. How you feeling? Whoever she's with at the moment. Good, Debbie Campbell. Jamie has a facial condition that causes redness allergies. She did a program, didn't she? Okay, I forgot. I thought she was on this program where she was talking about her skincare, her skin, and how she became famous. So she must use certain kind of makeup. I love my chat being slow because this is how I keep up.
Great name. And that was in the 90s. So what were the big shows and things that were on then? Baywatch.
Nice.
So it was like Carmen Electra, Jenny Gar, like all these people, Yasmin Bleeth. And I was taking the trash out from my job and I see Yasmin Bleeth. And I cannot believe I'm seeing Yasmin Bleeth and I'm holding this bag of trash. And I was like, the courage that it took for me to go up to her.
Yeah.
And I went up to her and I said, hi, I love you in the soft and dry deodorant commercial. That's all that could come out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so gracious. This was such a pivotal moment for me because I never knew I was going to become an actor or someone people would go up to. Yeah. But this moment was so influential for me because she turned around and she goes, hi, sweetheart, what's your name? First thing I learned. I was like, I'm Meghan. And that moment, I was like, she cares to know what my name is. And she's like, hi, I'm Yasmin. I know who she is. She introduced herself. All those years later, no one teaches you how to be an actor once the show becomes successful. No one teaches you what to do when people recognize you. That moment with Yasmin Bleeth taught me how important it was for someone to make me feel seen and not brushed off. And she might have been asked 100 times that day for a picture or anything else. And it always stayed with me where I go, hi, what's your name? Good to meet you. I'm Meghan.
You always do that. I see you do that all the time.
Yes. Because I know how much it means.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a really small example
of
at this scale.
If you don't mean it.
I check in with my young girl self because I want to know how I want to feel in that moment.
Yeah.
I want to know who I would want to look up to in that moment and how I could mimic that behavior, echo that. And yeah, it's a big privilege. It's a big privilege. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And I want everyone to feel like they matter.
Yeah. Do you think our lives are divinely ordered, or like our steps are divinely ordered when you think about that moment and sort of like seeing that example and now it's part of your life all the time?
Someone said to me last year when I sat down, they said,
somebody always says something,
you know, this is your soul contract. You signed up for this. You signed up for this before you were here.
It's never her.
Well, I didn't read the fine print. Okay. To be clear, like, can I redline this and amend the small print because I signed up for this? They're like, no, you signed up for this. You signed up for this. This is your hand and this is your lap around the sun or whatever you want to look at it as, because you can do this. And I guess on days that are hard, that's really grounding and affirming to remember. And then some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this life? I would have never predicted it, but I'm grateful for it. Even on the hardest days.
Yeah.
Even on the hardest days.
In my life, I have so many friends of all different faiths. I have friends that love everything. I have one of my friends who's the strongest Catholic I know, also sees every psychic, every meeting. Like, she's like, God made them too. We're going to cover our bases and all the things.
Well, that's funny because most people one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so open. Like, I've had so many different people on the show. Obviously, I'm pretty open about my faith and how much, I believe in God. And, I wanted to ask you this also just in the beginning. I feel like why I'm so grateful the show is connecting with so many people is because it's just everyone needs connection and they want to feel connected and they want to feel seen, to use the words you just used, and they want to feel like less alone and more enough. And I asked Oprah this when she was on the show, why did you say yes? And she just paused and she said, I felt it was divinely ordered. And I was like, so I want to ask you this question because your trust is such a sacred thing. Anybody's trust is a sacred thing. So why did you say yes to doing the show?
Because it's you. And to me, that means, of course, I trust you.
Yeah.
And hello, by the way. That ain't making sense.
I think you feel really confident that it was divinely ordered. Maybe all of this, our friendship, you becoming our neighbor, the depth of our friendship, and then these opportunities that we both have to be able to uplift each other and celebrate the work that we're doing. But to have never done a podcast, I mean, and then to say, great, let's do it. Like, literally, let's let people who are watching this feel like they're just sitting with us as at your house as we would do. We're like, great, we've done drop off. Okay, the day is done. The kids are in the bath. Can we just carve out time and sit and relax? And I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself with someone who knows me in such a deep and profound way.
Right.
And I think that's where you can meet people.
Meet people
On
where?
a really, really pure, connected level.
Connected
like, you want us to do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great. Let's let them see us. See our friendship. See us. See what it's really like.
Our friendship has been such a journey. And what I mean by that is, when I sold it to L'Oreal, and even before then, I was, one of the things that caught me off guard was when we were then part of L'Oreal,
always talking
so
about
many celebrities entered my orbit. So it was, a lot of them wanted contracts with L'Oreal, which was why. But it was this whole thing. And so I've seen inside so many different worlds.
Did you see Meghan face?
I've seen how the press is part of all the things. Getting to know you for who you truly are.
Did you see her face? Watch it.
As at your house as we would do. We're like, great, we've done drop off. Okay, the day is done. The kids are in the bath. Can we just carve out time and sit and relax? And I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself with someone who knows me in such a deep and profound way. And I think that's where you can meet people on a really, really pure, connected level. When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great, let's let them see us. See our friendship. See us. See what it's really like.
Our friendship has been such a journey. And what I mean by that is,
watch her face.
When I sold it to L'Oreal, and even before then, one of the things that caught me off guard was when we were then part of L'Oreal, so many celebrities entered my orbit.
Talking about herself.
A lot of them wanted contracts with L'Oreal, which was why. But it was this whole thing. And so I've seen inside so many different worlds, and I've seen how the press is part of all the things. Getting to know you for who you truly are, why I felt so passionate about this is like, I want people to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to get emotional if I talk about it, but like, that's my intention. And I think that's what I feel called to do in this interview. So for me, it feels divinely ordered for that reason is like, I feel, I think that it's,
lashes.
It's a gift to celebrate my friend with the world. And I think I've seen a lot of things in my life. I have never seen anything like what you go through on a daily basis.
I know.
I have never seen anything like it.
I know.
I think what's so beautiful is when people connect, who are listening or watching, connect with the truth, and they'll know it's true in their soul when they hear and listen to this. And that's what I think is so special. And so
I love that. And I appreciate it because, if it's the newness of our friendship, you're able to see that and think about the friends I've had for a really long time and their
Yeah.
experience of watching it and going,
You don't have
oh my
any friends
gosh.
from
And then
very long
people that
ago.
I reconnect with all these years later who literally can go,
She didn't
but
say
you're
it
the
twice.
same.
You're the same.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is
She is so fake.
when I'm like, but I'm the same. But
Yeah.
that's not what gets clicks or sells papers. So they need to do something
You're
else.
not
But you're
the
like,
same.
hey
You
guys,
have
I'm still
become
just
a Jezebel.
still here doing the same stuff.
I'll never forget you and I were at a business conference together
Amy's.
at Amy Griffin's. Yeah, our friend Amy Griffin's. And afterwards we got back and I think there was like lots of different just group photos from all the different people there on social media.
Zoo God.
No big deal. And I'd spoken at it. You were so supportive, all the things. Get back. I'm like, great. All of a sudden,
You told me about that.
What life
within like
contract?
five,
I
I'm so
know.
glad you
The
don't
one
see us.
she
Within 5
made
seconds,
with
there was thousands of articles. I was like, and what was wild to me about it was like, none of them were true. And I was like watching this, I'm like, this is wild. I'd never experienced that before. And I thought I'd seen everything. I really did. And then I remember one of my aunts called me and she's like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I heard that you and Meghan were in a huge fight. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, she's amazing. What are you talking about? And she was literally so worried for me that maybe like, because we got in a big fight. I'm like, huh?
I know.
And it was wild to me that, regular, and she's a teacher, like she's not looking at all this stuff. So regular people are getting these articles everywhere and it's thousands of them.
Yeah.
Thousands daily.
Yes.
And I'm like, none of these are true.
Yeah, we didn't get into a fight.
We've never been. We had the best time.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it was the most empowering, inspiring.
I know.
And I'm just watching this, and so it was interesting because, I mean, nothing surprised. We've all heard about tabloids for years. None of that surprised me. But what surprised me was it was the first time I was part of it to see just how absolutely incongruent it is from the truth, and then also to see how other people get it. So I was just like,
yeah, and how it breaks through.
Yes.
And that people can't decipher what's real or what's not.
Yes.
And I think it's really hard for people to understand.
You don't
even
like
in this
your
day and
daddy.
age, that things can be printed that just aren't true. I think that's
So
really
you
hard
like your father,
to
your
wrap your
father-
head around, especially the volume.
She can't hear me. Let me pause it. You didn't invite your father to the wedding and your family to the wedding. Is that what you're talking about? That's not true. Or your baby bump? Or that whole thing around having a child was a mystical mystery? Huh? But you're an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a writer, an artist, an author. It's crazy what she came out. You're a member of the royal family. No, she not. She laughed and said it was racist. Hello? Knock, knock. Okay. Judy Bird said earlier, quit wigging in this chair. So, that was Snowdrop. There is something wrong with this girl sitting on this couch. She is in denial. She is in denialness. Denialness. She is making up stuff. Talking about some friends from long ago. Some other friends like from my past from long ago. Some of those friends from back then. You ain't got no friends from back then. Produce one. You lying, manipulate. She sits there on these couches and makes up stories that are not believable because she's so perfecto. She sits on this couch and act like she's just got it all together. Everything is just perfect. And when she doesn't have it all together, it's got to do with bags and little stuff like that she has to put the merchandise in. Like those are crises. What's the crisis is that Harry married you. That's the crisis. Oopsie daisy. He made a mistake. He rushed right into it like it wasn't nothing. Hurry up, Meghan. I think he was rushing her. Let's get married tomorrow. Polly says she got on something. Susan Jamie is full of BS, along with her bestie, Raglan. She don't go through, she didn't calls. Okay? I know that's right, live life. Looks like Jamie is a fool. According to Dale, the show was covered by filters. Jamie will be markled. She is already markled. We haven't even got on her. Everybody tripping on her voice, which it is what it is, saying her husband must have talked for her in business deals, in contracts. Oh, God. Dan Wooden did a great video today on this train wreck with Samantha and Angela Livin. They massacred it. I saw a little bit of it. I doubt if we have time. I was going to see if we would watch it as well. She's a narcissistic sociopath or a sociopath, a psychopath, and I'm not sure which one. Highly sensitive. The marketing is probably already happening. Oh, yeah. Friends, crickets. Check out her chewed out nails. She's stressed out, and her world is crumbling. It's crumbling, but she's pretending. Why is she pretending like she is in heavenly blitz? Be honest.
That it happens when it comes to me.
How often do you see stories, whether they're in magazines
You
or
know.
online? We need to pause for a super brief.
Oh, God, what did I do?
Was there before it actually applied to me on a level like this. I've really tried to distance myself from all of it, and that has challenges too.
Mhm.
It does. You know, I'm oblivious to a lot of
But
things, but that allows me to live my life really authentically, make choices
Samantha was
authentically.
out spinning.
But it also allows me to be
Yes,
really detached from the outcome. I can just show up, I can put
spinning.
good work out there.
Yes,
I
on
feel
Dan
confident with what we've
Wooden.
created, and then let it go.
Mhm.
So to answer your question, maybe 1% of what's in the world I would see,
Wow.
and only if it's brought to me and said, like, you should really read this. You'll learn something from it,
Mm.
or this is really good insight,
Mhm.
or I think you'll appreciate how this writer or journalist really
How did
wants to
she
get this story
land
right.
the prince?
Or the text of like,
Oh,
hey, just sending love and checking in. And you're like, your hackles go up. About what? What now? What is it now? What are they reading now? Why are they sending love and checking in?
Yeah.
And you can get yourself a little bit nuts
okay.
with
We're
it, as
gonna
opposed
try
to
to
maybe they are
watch
just sending
it.
love and checking in, which is why your voice notes are helpful, because I can always hear your tone.
Yeah, I'm always like, "Are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Are you celebrating? You remember I didn't celebrate that much. Are you celebrating?"
You have to celebrate. You have to enjoy this. Huge. This is huge.
This is huge. It's big.
It's
It's big.
big.
Big. You just launched
Don't
as
she
ever.
got something
Sold
on?
out.
Ain't she
Everything sold out
advertising
in
her
under an hour.
clothes
Everything. Yeah.
And
as
5 minutes.
ever?
well, and so many entrepreneurs, they don't realize how hard it is until they do it. And the world now can see these wins, which is really exciting. But you've been working so hard. Like you've been working so hard
Oh,
for so
wow.
long.
Look
And
at
all
her
of a sudden it's
agreeing.
all coming, like everything is blossoming right now.
Yes. Well, and with actors, that happens a lot too, where they say, this overnight success story. And they're saying, I have been on this grind and auditioning for 10 years and hearing no after no after no after no after no. So yes, 10 years and a night.
Yeah.
But to the world, it's just, what has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to,
Oh,
oh my
we know
gosh, I
what
work
you've
so
been
hard, and
doing.
I appreciate what
You've been
hard work looks
gouging
like.
out for
I like working
Harry.
hard. And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. Yeah, it means we're working on
Sells
replenishment.
out.
What are
Like
the next
she had
seasons,
a
the next
whole
tranche of
bunch of
products, and what's the
sales.
timing on that, and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line, and what's the cadence of it, and what's the photography that we want to do, and what do I want to wear for those shoots, while also editing all the time-coded notes for season 2 of With Love Meghan, and then being in edits for the
Listen to this.
podcast and being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs. I mean, I love being that busy, but I do think it's
She
really
called
interesting
it
that
a
people have no sense of what
job.
goes into the thing.
Yeah.
And then when the thing seems as
God dang. She called it a job. Put a 1 in the chat. 30 seconds right now. If you heard her call her kids a job, she knows she jacked up. She called her friends a job. She called her kids a job. She called everything in her life a job, just like she treated the royal family like it was a job, like she was going on a job interview. I wrote to the queen and I wrote all these letters to her telling her that I was dedicated to this, and the queen knew you wasn't going to do none of that crap. Zero zilch. Yes. That's what she said. Guys, I know we can get more than 21 people in here. I know I'm not that boring. I'm going to quit coming on these lives so I can't get at least 30 people. I got to at least get 30 people to watch me, or I'm going to stop coming on lives and start doing my videos. 23 people? I got about 600 to 700, 800 videos in my repertoire, and only got 23 people in the chat. That don't sound good to me. Layla Tisha, have you figured out what you're going to do with little bit stuff? I have money now to donate to the shelters if you're going to do that. I have money now to donate to the shelters. I'm confused, Doodoo but yes, I have figured out that I'm giving it away. I got to get some bins. I got to get started. Watch, I wait till the last minute. I can't wait till the last minute. There's stuff everywhere, Doodoo. Oh, I wish you lived close to come help me. I couldn't be in the same room with these two without shoving them in the closet. Live life. Highly sensitive. This is word salad, made up stuff. She said that they were jobs. She called her kids, her husband, in this interview a job. All this is jobs. My daughter is not a job to me. She is, look, my little clay that I'm just molding into something, probably want to be something great. But she is not a job. I don't consider that a job. I know some people probably do, but I just thought that was way off the rocker. Her friends are a job. Why would my friend be a job? Go get your jaw reduced by Meghan's plastic surgeon. Her marriage is a job. Her kids is a job. Her friends are a job. That's exactly what she said, Susan. That's why she needs to shut up. Jamie has evil eyes. Duh. Come on, guys. Call your friends. I'll spill some real rolls. Dale, I know you supporting, girl. You all are supporting. I do appreciate the support, but we need at least start. Excuse me. We need at least 30 people in here. At least. Come on. Then they'll come and leave. Stay. Look, put your phone down and go in the kitchen. You don't have to listen to me. But at least 30 people. Oh, girl. I would have you help. Well, you would have to come like every other day or, on the weekends. And we would have to have like sessions. Like this session, we're going to do this much of cleaning with her clothes, her toys, not her clothes. I got her clothes together. These toys. And then next week, we'll work on this side, Or if someone gave me a plan, I could probably work on it. Because I want to throw everything out. I do. I want to just do a throw-a-do. And her aborting fetus and thing, man, she is fugly or what? Who, Dale? She's a delusional idiot living in the delusional mind. Yes. She calls everything a job to cover for the fact that she doesn't work. Really? I wouldn't call it a job. She said. She's a psychopath and probably a sociopath. Someone else said that too, Dale. Hello, Marie. I like your flowers. You changed your picture. Why? The kids are her employees. But did you hear? Yeah, I'm not going to even go there. Okay, let's get back to it. Calling things.
So it's like, oh, wow,
job.
The thing's not done.
Right.
The thing.
The finish line was really the starting line.
Yes. Yes. I feel it's so funny. And, in the past, 15 years, I've had so many people, whether I mentor them or they're mentors of mine, and then they're going to start a business in a different way for the first time, or they're friends, and they are so excited to launch a business. Then they do, and they're like, oh, it never stops.
Yeah.
When you have and everyone listening who has this experience, whether you've launched your own business or you are right now, it never stops. Like, you got to be ready. Like, I feel like entrepreneurship and parenting, those two things are like the hardest. You shared in a New York Times interview recently, you said that you need to work and you love to work. Can you share more about that?
Well, I've loved New York Times cooking and New York Times food for a long time. So that was a fun one for me. No, I need to work because it fills my cup. Also, we need to work for practical reasons. You need to work, pay your bills. You need to work. But it fuels me in such a huge way.
So what you're trying to say is that when you were on the Oprah show, you needed to be on the Oprah show to make money in the Netflix. So you and Harry can live the lifestyle that you're living. She said, you have to work for obvious reasons, for, pay your bills. No, your bills are astronomical. Oh, thank you. We have quality, not quantity today in the chat. It feels like a full house, though. A good live as always. Oh, thank you. Make me feel good. That's what I want to hear. For children and women, and I have money to donate to the shelter too. Wow. Okay, Karen, I'll get on that. This time of year, people are outside, fine spring cleaning. I was and I am outside when my body allows me to do it. Doody Bird, it's mostly, I got clothes too. I got clothes. That's what Marie said. Let's get back to it so it won't take so long.
I sparkle when you're talking about creating and watching other people create, like at the Broadway show.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And that's what, and I also love being with a crew and a team. So Suits, that was 7 years of my life, and that's a crew of over 200 people. It's a lot of people on a team. And even on the series that I just did for Netflix, when people are saying, why wouldn't you film this in your own kitchen?
You say it again.
It's a crew of 80 people.
Yeah.
Would you have 80 people in your house when your kids are coming home from school or for lunch? No. I want my home and my kitchen to be a sacred.
See, she didn't piss me off. If you didn't want people in your house for this cooking show, then why have a cooking show? Why invite us in? No, you're just making up excuses as to why you didn't want anyone in your house. So your first excuse was the kids were going to be sleeping and you want them to have good memories when they grow up, as if this 80 people is always going to be in the kitchen. It was a stupid reason why she was cooking in someone else's kitchen at an Airbnb. But you want 80 people in your house? I wouldn't give a dang if they paying me. I'm getting paid for this. Come on in. Come on. You signed up for it. If I was her sitting next to her, this is what I would have said. Well, you signed up for it. What if you didn't have that option to go to another house? Just be honest. You didn't have a beekeeper. You didn't have no strawberries and grapes in your garden. And you had to go over to somebody else's house to use their beekeeper and stuff in kitchen. Because yours looked dated. Her kitchen does look dated to me. With them pans hanging from up there. I don't know if they're still doing that. If they are, they need to stop. Put your pans up. Here, let me put. Did you hear this? Who wants 80 people in their house?
A place that my kids associate with me cooking for our family.
Yeah.
So finding a place and really trying to
me cooking for my family.
Not have to explain those choices, but be really confident in the choices that I've made that are in the best and highest good for me and for my family.
Yeah.
I've always loved to work.
I remember when cosmetics was in my living room and I had no separate, my whole home felt like an office for so long because we couldn't afford a separate place. And then when we finally could, I was like, okay.
Did you like it or did you miss having it at home?
No, I don't miss it. I don't miss that part of it because Megan, I had thousands of product samples all over my living room. It looked like an episode of like
I've got
Forage Wars or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my gosh, I look like a Costco or something. There's just boxes everywhere. Yes, and then also you have to keep in mind so that the actual brand and business is happening with all of these products that we've tested to scale it to what I'm making on my stove.
Yeah, you're a hard worker. There are times we get together and I'm like, I just want to have DoorDash come in. And you're like, let's make something. And I'm like, I know, I just want a glass of wine and to hang out. Like, no, but it's like, it's in you. I was going to ask you that actually, because, just to share some kind of fun moments, because I really want to take people behind the scenes into this. The first time, so I know you look at all the data, it is impossible to have a true friendship or a true relationship with anybody, a true connection if you don't show up fully authentically.
Yes.
And I remember one of the times you're at my house and I've seen all the beautiful stuff you make and it's just like, it's in you. You just like make these things and you and I were raised with TV dinners on a TV tray, right? Like, and somehow it's like in you. And I remember you came over, I'm like, I'm going to make Meghan a charcuterie tray, which I just learned that word a few years ago, charcuterie. Anyways, like I'm making a charcuterie tray. So I put it all together and I looked at it and I remember you came over and I was like,
very proud of you. The effort was A for effort.
It was an A for effort. And my daughter, who is 6, can make one way better than I make. She loves to cook. But I just remember just being like, if we're gonna have a real friendship, like this is who I am. And I remember you just loved it. And then I asked you, I'm like, okay, just so I know, what would you do to like make it like a little bit, more, welcoming, aesthetically pleasing? And then like I felt like somehow you had this magic wand, and in like 10 seconds, you go in my pantry, you go in the fridge, and you like do these things. And I look down at it. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, it looks like all of a sudden, like it looks like a cover of a magazine. Like it's just in you. And so 2 questions. One is, where did that come from? And, but also probably a year ago now, I remember someone else's kid falling on the playground. Tons of people there. You're the first one to run over there. You don't even think about it. It's like you're over there. You're taking care of that child, like right away. I've seen you do this in multiple places. You speak of strawberries. When I was like super stressed out one time, I had in-laws and all these people visiting.
You had a very full house.
And all of a sudden I get word that,
drop something off.
All of a sudden you dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream, just to see if that helps lighten my load. It was like as if you're
I
in my
wish I
shoes, feeling what I
could.
was feeling
I'm
without me
talking
even needing
over
to tell you
her.
anything. And you're doing something that adds value to my life.
Yeah.
And when I see the joy, like my daughter loves cooking, and you all of a sudden,
She makes very good charcuterie boards.
oh my gosh,
That's
yes, she
what you
does.
call her
Yes, she
voice.
does.
At what, 6 years old? She
6
makes
years old.
amazing
She's
crudité and charcuterie boards.
And she wants to be a chef when she grows up.
Mhm.
And you drop
Yeah.
off this board that says Chef Wonder on it. Like, so do you feel, because I think also when people
Look at her
watch with
penmanship.
Love Meghan, whether they know how to do any of that stuff or not, whether they're learning by watching the show, or I've read a lot of people also just love it because it just helps them feel calm. They don't want to watch whatever's going on in the news. They just want to
Yes.
be in that world. Knowing how to do all these things,
Marie.
like, is it a passion you've studied hard for, or is it just sort of like this innate talent?
I think I have a really classic aesthetic in terms of how I see things. I've never ever considered myself artistic, so it's really odd to voice that
No,
now as all this is
she's an
people talking
artist.
handwriting or how I put plate together or how I put an outfit together.
An
I've never
outfit,
thought of it.
wrinkled.
Like, I don't paint.
Mhm.
I would love to learn how to knit. Oh my gosh, I just can't figure it out. I've tried forever. I'm as bad as knitting as I am at playing tennis. I'm just terrible at certain things. And I found an old report card, from when I was at the Hollywood
report card.
Schoolhouse. Maybe I was probably Archie's age. Oh yes, because our kids got the report cards, so I was thinking about memory lane with that. I'll get back to your question in a second, but you'll like this, where you're going through, and that's when grades weren't A, B, C, D at that age.
Yeah.
It's right, like satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or I don't know what the best one would be, but it came to ability to throw and catch a ball, not applicable. Oh my gosh. It's like, well, I'm a great runner if someone's chasing me. Otherwise, just not the most athletic. So there are certain things that we have built in as strengths, and then there are certain things that are opportunities for growth. And I love when things look beautiful. And even when you don't have a lot, you're able to make things look beautiful. And I think about small apartments that I've had, or, small tiny kitchens that I had, or even when I had my first apartment and I went to Northwestern in Evanston. And when I moved out of
Okay, put a one
the
in
sorority
the
that I
chat
lived in
if
for a
you
couple
want to
years,
go to Danwood.
then I had my own little apartment. It's tiny,
And,
great little studio apartment. And that's when I would sit there and watch Food Network all the time and
Put
learn
a
how to
one in
make
the
certain
chat if you
things and
want to watch Dan.
really like how to make a pasta more special, and you would see plating. You would see someone drizzle the olive oil on top. And somehow it elevated it beyond what I thought were, which still are, by the way, kind of like great dinners at Olive Garden, right? Like loved a never-ending pasta bowl. But no one was drizzling and finishing a plate. No one was making it present as beautifully as it was going to taste. And I loved watching people get excited about that when they'd see it. And I guess that translates into a lot of different things, but it's attention to detail. And what does attention to detail for me mean? It's kind of rooted in what people's experience of it is going to be.
What?
So it makes them happy to receive it. It makes me happier to give it to them. It does. Like, I knew when I dropped off that strawberry, it wasn't even preserved. I didn't have time to set. I just made a quick one because we had a lot of strawberries at the time. And I heard what you were saying and how many people were there. And I just knew that even if we never talked about it, that it would brighten your day in what was probably a really overwhelming day. That made me feel excited at the possibility of being able to have some offering that would make you feel good. And I guess over the years, like, again, back to wanting to feel seen and wanting people to feel seen.
Clark, Susan, Mary.
It shows that you're really listening to what their needs are. It shows that
we're changing it.
You can show up for them no matter what you have going on. And a lot of that's probably doing the things for other people that I had missed for so long when you don't feel seen, or when you feel lonely and you just want someone to like reach out in a meaningful and thoughtful way, not with a huge gesture, but something of like, no, I really I see you. I'm thinking about you over there. Tiny, tiny things that really just move the needle. It could change someone's life. So yeah, it brings me a lot of joy to do that. That to me is not work. That's complete joy.
You sharing that reminds me of a moment. I remember, we have a lot of fun in the rocking chairs. Yeah, we have all the friendships or this or that. It's like be the friend that you want in your life, and you do that.
We'll be able to. And that is absolutely the right summation.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
Her voice goes up
Yeah,
octave.
and she looked to the side.
It's very, very obvious that she is not answering authentically.
And then she looked
It was a
up.
squeaky sort of answer, wasn't it?
Let's
Yes,
look
you
at
know,
that
as if
again. Let's look at that again, and let's do it in slow mo.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
What kind of
Her
question is
voice
that?
goes up an octave. It's very, very
That would have
Do you
pissed me
think you'll be
off.
married forever?
Yes.
her voice goes up an
And her
octave.
eyes do something.
It's very, very obvious that she is not answering authentically.
Why would she ask her that
it was a
question?
squeaky sort of answer, wasn't it? Yes, you know, as
Like
if
she was being rude.
don't
You and
bother me
Eric
with
are
that one.
married
It's quite
forever.
obvious, but it's obviously not going to necessarily happen.
I don't think anybody with a functioning frontal lobe would suggest that private jets, having people wait on you, being allowed to bully your staff, allegedly, and using King Charles, then Prince Charles, as an ATM. Oh, that's so hard. Oh, God, get me out of these trenches.
50 Shades of Cray Cray. Sometimes a meme sums up a moment in pop culture better than what I ever will be able to.
Wow.
And that is absolutely the right summation of this completely bonkers, completely misleading,
Bird.
completely self-serving interview between the fake Duchess, Meghan
Self-serving.
Markle, and a woman called Jamie Kern Lima. I don't recommend that you watch the full 90 minutes, folks,
And we
because
couldn't.
this really did things to my brain. It
It
melted
hurt.
my brain.
It was-
It exploded my brain. But don't worry, as ever, we've done the public service. And today,
We couldn't.
Royal Mastermind, Angela Levin, and Meghan's sister, Samantha Markle, join me to provide the truth about her at times quite vile spin, which includes, no surprises, attacks on the royal family and attacks on the Markle family. But let's kick off with, I think, a summation of just how bad it is that Meghan continues to choose to be interviewed by her BFFs. Because the first question, without a hint of any irony, is a repeat of Tom Bradby in South Africa. Watch.
We'll also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are
Oh.
you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about. But how are you doing? There's so much going on.
I'm good. There's it's a lot of pinch me moments right now.
Oh, pinch me. Pinch me. Actually, when I'm sitting through that, Angela Levin, I think you need to
Pinch me moment
slap
is
me
when you
because,
married Harry.
good God, this is actually, I think, the worst example I've ever seen of two narcissists creating a completely false environment to peddle and spread their lies.
Well, I don't know, Jamie Kern, but I mean, I think that it's the worst thing I've ever seen Meghan do. And I also think that the fact that she's not wearing any makeup is deliberate because she wants to, in this occasion, be the poor one who works so hard and has to get up at 6:30 to do to clean her teeth and get her clothes on. Oh, because it's so busy in the morning. I mean, that's what we all do, isn't it? I mean, what's so heroic about that? And I just think that not wearing lipstick makes her look as she's working incredibly hard and she's got too much to do and people don't recognize how amazing she is. That's the image she's given me.
Indeed. And there was another reason, though, wasn't there, Sam, for the lack of makeup? Because what was it? One tear, left eye, go. Your sister is an expert in making herself cry on demand.
Exactly. And did you catch this? What really stuck out for me now was hearing her suck up BFF interviewers, ask her if she was okay, which takes us back to the African poverty thing for the documentary she was doing. And she said verbatim, I'm glad that someone asked me if I was okay, or nobody ever asked me if I was okay. So this felt very scripted. It's like,
Of
did she
course
need to
it's
tap back into
scripted.
this and say, now make sure you ask me if I'm okay, so I can do the one to your left I go and say I am. Thank you.
Oh,
I was like,
absolutely.
oh my God,
Of
oh my
course,
God.
it was all scripted. I mean, they speak about how they were absolute best mates, don't they? And so they were recreating that moment in South Africa with Tom Bradby, which we will never forget, will we? But I should also point out, by the way, that perhaps for once, actually, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, may have played a bit of a masterstroke here. Because, Meghan released this interview when she did to try and overshadow the 14th
Oh,
anniversary
wow.
celebrations for Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Prince William, who are in the Isle of Man today. But Catherine, and I know some people are saying, oh, you're getting a little bit excited about this, but look, she's gone. I'm not going to say she's gone blonde. She's gone blondish. And I think Catherine will, thank God, push her dastardly sister-in-law off the front pages today, at least. But anyway, of course, this whole interview is set up to show us just how hard life is for our damsel in distress, Meghan Markle. Watch.
I think I've seen a lot of things in my life. I have never seen anything like what you go through on a daily basis.
I know.
I have never seen anything like it.
I know.
I think what's so beautiful is when people connect, who are listening or watching, connect with the truth, and they'll know it's true in their soul when they hear and listen to this. And that's what I think is so special. And so
I love that. And I appreciate it because, if it's, the newness of our friendship, you're able to see that and think about the friends I've had for a really long time and their experience of watching it and going, oh my gosh. And then people that I reconnect with all these years later.
Again, you don't have no friends.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is when I'm like, but I'm the same. But that's not what gets clicks or sells papers. So they need to do something else. But you're like, hey guys, I'm still here doing the same.
No,
Samantha Markle, is that hard for you to watch, this attempt to rehabilitate Meghan Markle's reputation, given what she has done to your family and specifically your father?
See, she's again wanting to get out her truth. And she says, I'm glad you get it. People can see now. Well, she forgets that the world watched. The world watched as she mocked Queen Elizabeth while she was dying of bone cancer. The world watched her totally ice and disregard, our family, our dad through 2 heart attacks and a stroke. The world has watched this. So what does she mean? Now you get it. Yeah, we got it because we all watched. So you can't suddenly act like all of that didn't happen, all of that didn't exist. Like, who's she trying to kid? Maybe the few new viewers who didn't have the backstory and who haven't been watching all of these years. Oh yeah, we get it. We've watched it.
We've literally seen it with our own eyes. Of course, and Angela,
yeah,
yet again, another interview that we sit through without any reference to the whole pile of bullying allegations on both sides of the Atlantic. Let's just pretend that it never happened.
Yeah. I mean, she
let's pretend
pretends
like
everything about herself. That's what she goes into her.
Let's pretend that none of that stuff Meghan did happened. That's what she's trying to do. Let's just sweep that under the rug and pretend that I didn't do any of that naughty stuff. That I did not give the Queen a hard time in her last final hours. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. It was you. But let's pretend it wasn't you giving everybody a hard time. You were a bad girl. And this interview is not going to help you. I'm sorry. Toodaloo.
She goes into her room, her home, and you don't hear a word for about a week or so. And then all of a sudden, she's got another idea of what's happening. And she never goes back and says, look, I'm really sorry that these people I know have been behaving badly. Never. She's always absolutely perfect. And she does think she's out of this world, more interesting, more cleverer, more beautiful than anybody else. And actually, you feel you want to throw some ice cold water over her.
Well, of course, because the ego is out of control. But Angela, the other issue is that there are so many lies in this interview, so many inconsistencies. And for folk who ask, well, why are we doing this? For me, it's because we have to prove that what the mainstream media is doing by just peddling her lies is irresponsible, because it's so easy to call them out. And one of the most obvious and most egregious, which we now see, is that she is still keeping up this pretense that she doesn't read any of the coverage
Right.
about her. Watch.
Often do you see stories, whether they're in magazines or online?
I just have created such a strong boundary for myself. And even people are like, no, but it's a good one. It's like, there was this quote that I had up in my trailer when I was on Suits, talk about being a soothsayer, if it's divinely ordered. How on earth would this be the quote that I had printed up in my trailer? And I was on that show for almost 7 years. And it says, I've already settled it for myself. So flattery and criticism go down the same drain. And I'm quite free. And it's a very hard thing to put into action to actually integrate.
What?
Yeah.
But it's become so ingrained in my mind because it was there before it actually applied to me on a level like this. I've really tried to distance myself from all of it. And that has challenges too. It does. You know, I'm oblivious to a lot of things, but that allows me to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically. But it also allows me to really detach from the outcome. I go, I can just show up. I can put good work out there.
Fire.
I feel confident with what we've created, and then let it go. So to answer your question, maybe 1% of what's in the world I would see, and only if it's brought to me and said, like, you should really read this. You'll learn something from it, or this is really good insight.
Now, of course, that is completely rubbish. That is completely untrue, because what we have seen now for a number of months is Meghan's social media is totally dictated by what she wants to counteract, either in the online media on shows like this, or if there is criticism in the mainstream media. But then we get to the best acting job in the entire interview. But I could see right through it, and I'm sure you'll be able to see right through it. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, we covered it on the show, Prince Harry did a cover story with People magazine. And there was a quote about Meghan, which was like one of those hostage video quotes. I'm so proud of my wife. You knew he had to say it. You knew he hadn't written it and had been cooked up by the PR team, clearly with Meghan's say-so. Watch in this interview where Jamie Kern-Lima presents the quote to Meghan, and she pretends that she knows nothing about it.
Oh, yeah.
Your husband just shared publicly for the first time. He said, I'm so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
When did he say that?
This week. It's everywhere in the press. Yeah, it's beautiful. But how does it? So okay, so you don't know this. Okay, so you're hearing this for the first time. That's sweet. No, she's not. I love that you're hearing this for the first time. He says, "I'm so happy for my wife and fully supportive, and support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do." How does that make you feel?
Oh, he's such a great partner.
I
feel that, right? I feel that every day in how supportive he's been.
He's a great husband.
And is
my man.
But I didn't know he said that. So that's really nice.
He's a great partner.
I think having a partner, I mean, I asked you this when you were on my podcast, like, do you think that you would have been able to get through all the no's and the challenges if you were doing it solo?
Like a
if you didn't have the support of Apollo. And there's something that is
my partner.
Not to be taken for granted when you have a partner and a spouse who is just so behind you. You know, I mean, that man loves me so much. And, you know, look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And, you know, I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers, when you get to the final level. And what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband. He's just out there, just constant. Like, he's just going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights.
Angela, have you ever seen a more obvious lie in your life?
Nope, I haven't. But let me go back one step where she says that she doesn't hold on to things. She lets them pass her by. She's fine with that. But, you know, in the last 6 years since they've left the royal family, she can't get over what happened. She's full of resentment. And so many of the things that she does is because she wasn't treated in the royal family in the way that she wanted. So it's completely and utterly nonsense. She hangs on to everything. If she feels against you, like she is with Catherine, she will, you know, go on and on and on and on until she wins. I hope she doesn't, because they've got a different way of behaving. But actually, to say she doesn't hold on to things, they just flitter away, she's the last person.
It's completely laughable, because what she does actually is maintain campaigns that can last for years. And you're completely right to point out, Catherine, look at what the Sussex Squad tried to do with her. Samantha, what about this idea of trying to paint Harry as the slay the dragon hero?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, she's not a princess, from what I've been hearing. She hasn't been given that title. Second of all, I think and this is my opinion, it's really bizarre and sort of a deviation from reality, in my opinion, that she would say we built such a beautiful life. I think what is clear from inception is that it's no secret there was, a string of lies. Meghan Kelly clocked her at reportedly lying every 2 minutes.
Ooh.
There is a beautiful life built on lies.
Yeah.
First of all, about how she was raised.
Oh,
She wasn't raised a poor child. She is not
Yes.
Cinderella.
And there's a
Second-
repeat in this
secondly,
interview, by the way, Sam, because I wanted to ask you about this. This is a good time
Yeah.
to do so. She doubles down on this whole concept of being a latchkey kid eating TV dinners in this interview.
Exactly. Latchkey kids eat TV dinners. They're left alone all day with working parents or parents who are not invested and not there. And so with that said, I don't think hanging out with dad at the TV studios on the set of Married with Children and being with dad and going wherever she wanted and going shopping, on a whim, doing whatever she wanted, totally being indulged. That's not the definition of a latchkey kid. But I think what's also important is this, quote, beautiful life that she is spewing that they've built, in my opinion, based on lies. And how would Harry feel about that? He's proud of everything she does. Is he proud of the lying? She never worked for the embassy. That was
yes,
a lie. She did a 5-week study program that dad paid for. So I'm assuming that when she met Harry, she, beefed herself up. She gave him the pitch of a lifetime, probably, and said that she worked for the embassy, that she was self-made, that she got grants and scholars, none of which scholarships, none of which is true. So in retrospect, how would Harry feel about that beautiful life based on lies? I just think these little PR attempts and having Jamie or whoever she knows will step up to the plate and suck up and try and rewrite history. I think that's a leftist thing.
Totally.
Rewrite history as if all of the new people watching will never know,
Totally.
and the
As if we're
others
stupid.
hopefully in her mind have forgotten.
As if we're totally stupid.
Right.
Now I want to come
No.
to, though, the worst moment of this entire interview. And I'm sure you're both with me on this, but I am so offended. I'm so disgusted as someone whose grandparents and great-grandparents
She's not a
served
princess.
in World War I in the trenches. And Meghan Markle, not only is she making a dig at the royal family of Britain, she is completely degrading the military history of veteran families in the United Kingdom by comparing her time in the royal family to being in the trenches. Watch this. But first, do you know how often I talk about the need for free speech to
Okay,
be
let's
protected?
fast
But
forward
I've been
this.
increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection from snoopers, bad actors, and beatable price. But now, back to the show.
Are you in love now more than ever, more than you've ever been?
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine at the beginning, everyone has like butterflies, and
I
then
would still have
we
butterflies.
immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, like 6 months into dating. So now 7 years later, when you have a little bit of breathing space, you can just enjoy each other in a new way. And that's why I feel like it's more of a honeymoon period for us now.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
Okay, Angela, there's actually two things I need to pick up on there. So, of course, as I expressed, I am disgusted by her using that phrase in the trenches. What I found very interesting, though, is did you notice when she is asked by her BFF, will you be married forever? Her voice goes up an octave. It's very, very obvious that she is not answering authentically.
Yeah. It was a squeaky sort of answer, wasn't it?
Harry is
as if,
hostage.
don't bother me with that one. It's quite obvious, but it's obviously not going to necessarily happen.
I'm sorry, but Harry's a
she gave
fool.
in to her
I would
friend, which is
never
interesting, because she could have looked at her with one of her nasty sneers, but she managed to smile hugely instead. But
right,
she's decided to look so vulnerable and such a poor woman, who works so hard, that it's changed
that.
her enormously, looking 10 years older because she hasn't got lipstick on and makeup. I'm saying this again because when you look at her, you see somebody who's really creased and completely and utterly worn out. So she's just pretending the whole thing is very difficult, and it's just because she tries so hard and it's so difficult to do everything that she wants to do that actually makes this such a nonsense. And now she's crying. If you look, she decided after she got, before she got married, she got engaged, she would not eat her nails anymore right? And she got some short nails. But now, if you look at them, she's chewing at her nails. And that's always a sign of being very worried and unhappy. So if you look at her fingers, you can see she's really, which I think is probably goes with the personality.
Oh, wow.
Totally. Sam Markle, are there times when you see your sister say things like trying to compare living in the most privileged family in the world to being in the trenches, which was, anyone who knows anything about World War I knows that it was the most inhumane way to live. And these young men gave their lives fighting for their country in the most revolting conditions. Do you sometimes feel ashamed of her?
Well, exactly. And by contrast, it seems as though every time she moves forward, she has this need to insult at a minimum the last situation she was in. For example, saying that she was a latchkey kid, insulting, dad's 40 years, blood, sweat, and tears, working in television, winning Emmy Awards, giving her everything, indulging her. Trevor Ingleson saying he felt like gum on a shoe, him giving her everything. King Charles said he felt like an ATM. So this life of private jets, royal treatment, suddenly is minimized to the trenches.
Yeah,
we were in the trenches together. I don't think anybody with a functioning frontal lobe would suggest that private jets, having people wait on you, being allowed to bully your staff, allegedly, and using King Charles, then Prince Charles, as an ATM. Oh, that's so hard. Oh God, get me out of these trenches. And juxtapose that with, of course, a life of military service, our veterans, those who have died and sacrificed everything for the defense of a country. I think she's very contextually unaware, in my opinion.
I think she's unaware.
That seems to be a huge disconnect. So she's not aware of whose feelings she's hurting. She doesn't seem to care, and she seems so focused on pointing out how hard her life was and how rejuvenated she is. This is like their freedom flight.
Totally. It's like, everything's great now. Everything's great now. As if we don't have eyes. As if we don't see Prince Harry's face at the Time 100 event when he is reduced to her bag carrier and is losing the will to live. Yeah. It's like we see that with our own eyes. That's why there's this massive PR campaign. Now, this interview was grim and weird. And I think probably the most bizarre moment was when it almost turned into some type of crappy reality show where Jamie Kern-Lima produces a letter from Harry and the children, which isn't a particularly emotional or heartfelt letter, but they're trying to turn it into a real moment. Let's just say it falls flat on its face. Watch.
We're going to have a moment.
Your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh. You have a letter from him?
I have a letter from your husband and your kids. Oh. It's actually from them.
Was this in the press also?
Via him.
Did this?
No one's ever seen this before.
Okay.
And I would love to share it with you. And if you feel comfortable.
Is this from this morning?
Share it with all of us.
Oh. From Archie and Lily via Papa. We love your cooking. We love your pancakes. And we love, love, love your hugs. You're the best mummy and we love you. So sweet. I also love that it's mummy, which is very British instead of mommy.
British.
Oh, yeah, they're the greatest.
And we so it's kind of fun reading that to you about just how much he supports you and how proud he is with everything he's doing with Invictus Games and all the projects he's so passionate about. What are the best ways that you support him that he needs with all of this?
I think a lot of it is being a soundboard, especially because I don't read media or press.
Yeah.
I'm a good barometer of just
you do, me too.
Sometimes maybe just a very removed point of view because I'm only looking at it through the lens of loving him.
Yeah.
What's in his best and highest good? What's in the best interest for us as a family? What will help nurture him and help him find balance?
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, I can hear it through a different lens because my opinion isn't colored by anything other than
Let's the BS. And I got a super chat. Hey, work it, make it rain. I got a super chat from Sue Clark. Ooh, thank you. Tip for a nice life with everyone. Love. A thank you tip for a nice life with everyone. Oh, Thank you so much, Sue Clark. I really appreciate it. Mwah. Kiss for you, sweetheart. Sure, I got a star next to it. Okay, because I want to remember it at the end. I always go back and reread my super chats. Even if you're not here, I still read them. And thank you again before the night is over. And I also am starting to put stars on some of the comments. So far, I think I have 2. And I like to reread them because they made me laugh or they were funny and they were great. So back to the show.
I know from him and what I can see for our future. So, you know, I really love making him breakfast. Before I left, I told you Archie's homesick today. So I made him lemon, ginger, manuka honey tea, and he just really wanted bacon. So I made a lot of bacon, and then
only one
made
in
like a breakfast sandwich with a fried egg and
please
2 slices of American cheese.
Stop. But what was so interesting is that Jamie Kern-Lima clearly didn't get the response she wanted.
No.
She knew she needed the tears. The tears were the only way to promote the interview. So then it comes in the most random way when Meghan is telling a story about how she apparently sends emails every night to her 2 children on an account they obviously do not have access to as yet. That causes mass hysteria and emotion.
They will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your whole life. And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and like how proud I am of you. And of all things, it's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much.
What?
And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about, I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth. And I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you.
I mean, so talk about me,
I can't
Meghan.
do her.
She's not crying about her children. She's crying about the fact that she wants her children to know how much she loves her. Is that right?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, children watch you all the way
Watch
through
you
their lives,
grow and-
much to your
oh,
surprise.
God, Polly, I
They
love
bring
it.
it out when
Love
they're
it, Polly.
teenagers to tell you off
Good
or to
one.
say how well you've done. And they see how you are. They don't need a letter from their mother telling them that she worked very hard and she loved them, because she'll get quite a sound back. I mean, that is totally and utterly ridiculous. They're not robots. I mean, they can feel what the parent feels about them. The fact that her parents go away such a lot might really upset them. The fact that they've never met the rest of their family, like on their father's side, they might be furious. They might be furious that they're given her a title and they don't know what to do. I mean, they will make up their own mind what they don't like and what they do like. They don't need a letter from their mother when they're 16 or 18. They won't be interested at all. They're teenagers. They're off doing things. They don't want to sort of sit there and say how wonderful she is all the time.
Very true. Then there is a moment where Jamie Kern-Lima, because she clearly has her list, I've clearly spoken about all the things that they need to get into the interview to try and present Meghan in the best light. And this was actually behind the trenches comment. This was what I found the most distasteful part of the interview. It's when she is comparing Meghan to Princess Diana. And Meghan sits there sort of, did you notice this?
She did
trying to be like Princess Diana. Watch this.
Yes.
Much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion. She has the same empathy. She has the same confidence.
She has none of that.
Warmth about her. How do you feel about him sharing that?
It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
I'm feeling viscerally so happy because I feel like people I feel like they're really here with us in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff about you I had no idea. Like, and I think I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
But just like the essence of a person, even one of my friends, you know.
That's that stupid stuff. Let me keep going.
Marcus, but Marcus will see certain things and he goes, "Oh, there's my friend."
Yes.
And gets so excited when you can see me reflected in a way that's the me that you know.
Yes.
And so what a gift that is. Thank
It's
you
just
for,
so.
letting me be.
Okay, so Samantha, you obviously know the real Meghan. You've known her since she was a young age. Is she correct in saying that the media portrayal of her does not match what she's really like in real life?
See, again, let's cut to the chase. It's not just the media portrayal and what we've read and the PR articles on either side of the fence. We have observed, we watched her live mocking Queen Elizabeth
Right.
as she was dying of bone cancer. Harry sat there and, was bright red and just enabled it. So this takes me back to what she said about wanting him to live his best life. If you want your husband to live his best life, you don't sit there with him and mock his dying grandmother
Right.
with him red in the face, knowing that
Look
will
at
have
this.
deleterious consequences for him in his family and in front of the world.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true of the kids. If she wants these alleged
made a
kids
fool out
to
of
live their
herself.
best lives and she wants them to know how much she loves them, so she sends these quote emails. Well, we all know she's really hot on doing her fancy cursive and penmanship with fountain pens. So why wouldn't she handwrite them letters so that they can live their best life and feel, wow, mom wrote me this personal letter.
Yeah.
Like this means a lot, not, oh, mom took 2 seconds to send me a cheesy email.
I
I
write my
just think she's
daughters a
missing
letter.
the point.
She's always
And,
missing the point, isn't she? Sam, there was also, and I've got
Yeah.
to put this to you too, there's also a moment where she claims that she has not been a Markle since her wedding, even though that was something she only chose to reveal on Netflix very recently. Watch.
Meghan Sussex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Now I heard there are Sussex chickens and I need to get a couple of Sussex chickens to add to my flock. I'm so excited. Got my girls. Yeah.
And so do you use Markle anymore?
No, not since I got married.
Not since you got married.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Good to know. This is what everyone wants to know.
Okay.
Sam, is your father hurt by that?
I think even my grandmother from the grave would roll over. I mean, what's so funny is that, people can use any name they want. She's got a brand, but it doesn't seem like she gave up Markle as her brand. She just doesn't want it as her family name. And yet, when we talk about family name, what happened to Mountbatten Windsor? Because Sussex, from my understanding, is a township. It's not a title or her name. So all of a sudden, when she said she wanted to have the same name as her kids, her children or alleged children were not born Sussex. The family name is Mountbatten Windsor.
And again, it's the rewriting of history, though. It's like, you really think that you've kept the secret for all of these years. It's totally ludicrous. Now, Angela, there's a key moment for royal observers like us in this next moment, because so earlier I was saying she's not
got
being
another super chat.
totally honest
You gotta pause
when she says
the
this.
film. Marie has given me a super sticker and nothing on it. Oh, thank you, Marie. Mwah. Kiss to you. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, girlfriend, for my super chat. Super sticker. Yeah. We'll make us something every time I get one. Because I'm so grateful. Thank you. Mwah. Kisses to you, Maria. Woo-hoo. Everybody put some hearts in the chat for Maria and some flowers. Thank you, Marie. I'm going to put a star by that. I was just talking to my husband. My daughter wants to go to McDonald's. She loves her chicken nuggets, but she wants to go in Daddy's car. No, I'm not going in Daddy's car. Thank you, Marie. And Sue Clark. So far, Sue Clark and Maria. Thank you, ladies. Mwah. She wanted to meet her. That's why she was furious at Drew Barrymore for showing her the photo of her with Diana. Oh. Wow. Prince Harry is still all the way up. He is. He's still all the way up in there. I believe it, Christine. Yes. Thank you, Maria. Prince Harry is living his best life now. He hasn't worked and has listened to his charities. He's a kept man. Ow, he's gonna lose it. He can't sit at the house and watch her do it all. I do too. I do too. I don't believe they're divorced. I believe they're still together. I believe they're still pretending. Something's going on. They're pretending real good if they ain't married. Thank you guys for giving Marie some love for me. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to the show. It's almost done, and I'll let you lovely people go.
She believes that she's going to stay with Prince Harry forever. We know that because, of course, she has been secretly shopping this post-divorce book for some time. It's something we had spoken about for a very long while, but it went mainstream when it featured in Vanity Fair and that big profile on the couple. And what's very interesting is that she is asked by Jamie Kern-Lima whether she is going to write another book. And she specifically raises the prospect of a memoir. Watch.
Ever write
A
another book?
memoir of what?
Yeah, maybe for sure. I think, you know, I love right now working on everything in the space of hospitality and home and entertaining and food and those sort of tips, and something like that I think could be really fun. Of course, children's books are great. And then, you know, I think people are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir, but I've got a lot more life to live before I'm there.
So she's basically confirming the story, Angela. A lot more life to live, a divorce to live. Then she'll write it and she'll get the big money, right?
She needs more than what she got.
But I think she'll be careful about it, actually, because she will lose her anything that's nice and kind, because she'll be so horrible about the royal family, and it will be so full of lies that people actually won't want to read it, won't believe a word she says. I think that's happening. She's much better to stick with her cooking, but she won't want to do that. I don't think she'll do another child's book, because that was
Luna Blade, thank you so much for becoming a member, girlfriend. Let's give it up for Luna's Blade. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give it up for Luna's Blade. Thank you, sweetheart. Hearts in the chat, hearts in the chat, flowers and hearts in the chat for Luna's Blade. Thank you so much, lovely. Mwah. Big fat kiss for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for becoming a member. I'm gonna get some more member stuff going on. How about this Friday, we're gonna do a member drive to my mom's house. We're taking the baby to Mama's because me and Daddy need some me time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Luna. Thank you. A memoir. And she's not going to do anything but talk crazy and stupid. He does need help. I think he's still where he wants to be with Meghan. I don't think there's no divorce, there's no separation, none of that. That's nopey dooey. Okay, back to the show. He's brainwashed. She's been
disaster,
him.
and she had to buy hundreds of them so it would look as if it was a great success. But I think she's just keeping the option. She likes to keep the option open, dangling before us all, making us wait to see what's on the next page, making us wait till we see one of her children's faces. And it just is just that way she can keep on the front pages. And I think that's, so she's just saying it. But I mean, I don't think Harry will have long gone by that happens. But she's kept, I'm concerned that she's recorded stuff and she'll use that. And actually, that would be very difficult for the royal family. But I hope people just don't believe it, and that will be the end of it. You know, she's just so untrustworthy.
Well, she is. Well, she is, because there's another lie which comes very near the interview. Now, I will tell you why I know that this is a lie, but just watch this first.
Would you ever run for office?
No.
Never.
No.
Never.
Why would she?
Never. Oh God. I mean, you could say never. No, I'm not interested in that. No.
Now, my reporting, which came from very, very close sources
Yes,
to
she was
Meghan during her
interested in
time
it
in
at
the royal
one point.
family, was that she was totally open about the possibility that one day she would run for office. And of course, Sam, as soon as she got to California, she started her political maneuvering within the Democratic Party. It's just that it didn't go the way that she wanted it to go.
Christine.
Right. I think the same is true of the Spotify deals. I mean, all of these deals, and Spotify executives said what they said. They had certain words for her. We all saw them. Talentless, yada yada yada, grifters, and we can quote them. But it seems like everything that she has pursued has been met with the same response. And I think similarly, we heard of her reportedly trying to mingle with Gavin Newsom and Gordon Getty. All of those people under the hub of Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, trying to get in wherever she could, reportedly wanting Dianne Feinstein's seat without the qualifications to do so. So I think ultimately, it seems like a fantasy. It might be wonderful and great fun because it's so grandiose, but the bottom line boils down to qualifications or lack thereof. And I think she knows that if she had to step up to the plate, that she wouldn't cut it. So I think therein lies her reluctance. She knows better, and there are too many qualified
and she does, but she does say never say never. The point is, she still says never say never, and we know that in politics, never say never means yes.
But you can't start a political career at 43, almost 44.
Well, and one of the least popular people in the world. You just can't. Angela, I want to ask you though about just quickly about Catherine and William in Scotland, and the fact that Catherine, look, people are telling me I'm getting a little bit carried away, and it's not blonde. But if you look at these videos, Angela, she's definitely looking
it's very light
shade,
brown,
isn't she?
Very light brown, I would call that, which really suits her. It's beautiful, pretty. And I think it's very spring-like, isn't it? I mean, she's dressed very casually, but that hair, look at it, it's almost like the sun shining on it all the time. Glowing. It is much lighter, and it looks gorgeous on her. It's not blonde, it's a sort of light brown, I should say, which is absolutely lovely. And you just look at her and you think, what a gallant, brilliant woman who has gone through so many difficult things and come out with a happy family, lovely children, a caring husband, and doing great things for this country.
Yeah.
Very well put, Angela Levin. Very well put. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my...
That was good for Dan Wootton Unspoken. I think Harry may have given up and just accepted his new normal. He seems to empty and defeated to know what else to do. If he heeded all the warnings, he wouldn't be in this mess. That's right, Susan. Star for you, girlfriend. She will blackmail Harry for sure. Yes, she will. Luna's Blade, that pissed me off when she trampled all over the fire scene. My cousin had a rental home that burned to the ground. See, that's shameful. It's so shameful. Meghan didn't care. She went out there for clicks and snap-a-doos and oh, look at me. I'm trying to save the world. Much love, Letitia Mods. I finally charged my laptop so I could rejoin. Thank you, Luna. You're such a sweetheart. I'm with you, Sue Clark. She looks gorgeous. Happy 14th anniversary, Catherine and William. 14 years? Wow. So if they have 14 years, me and my husband had 11 years this year. Yep. It takes him to know it. He knows more than I do. He knows more than I do. Well, guys, I have enjoyed you guys. But before we go, we have to go back up and thank some people. And also, too, I would also like to read some of the comments. Susan, they both claim to be makeup free. Then why is MM wearing bronzer, blush, foundation, eyeshadow, lip gloss, highlighter, concealer at a minimum? which is everything. Debbie Campbell, Sue Clark. It's whatever version she makes up at that moment. I have only one version. She has one to match each of her multiple personalities. And I want to thank Sue Clark once again for my super chat. Thank you so much. A thank you tip for a nice live with everyone. Thank you so much. Polly, you're cute. I love this. You're annoyed by Meghan's voice. And Mary, thank you so much for my super sticker. Mwah. Kisses to you. Luna's Blade, thank you so much before becoming a member. Thank you. And Sue Clark, I think Harry may have given up and just accepted his new normal. He seems to be empty and defeated to know what else to do, and defeated to know what else to do. If he heeded all the warning, he would have not be in this mess. I love that. Let me go back down to the bottom. I was all the way at the top. Ooh. All right, guys, listen, I enjoyed you guys. I hope you liked the live. Captain, I like the hair. It's really pretty. It's got like a glow to it. Golf. Yes, that was horrible about Christine's cousin. It really was. That's got to be just, yeah. Oh, you can tell a true lady by her hands. I like that, Diane. I know. I sent her an email and I asked her how she was doing. And I told her we were all missing her. But I think according to Snowdrop, she is taking a break from YouTube. But she'll be back. That's what Snowdrop said. She's just taking a small break. Bye, all. And you know what? You know, sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need it. I didn't do the Mimi song, so we're going to Mimi ourselves out of here. Okay? I can send her another email and ask and see when she's coming back, but I don't want to pressure her. You know? Nobody wants to be pressured. I'm going to start getting these clothes together too, due to Bird. Okay, we're going to do this one and then we're going to call it a quit. Thank you, mods. Thank you, super members. Thank you to my slide chat. Thank you for my super stickers. Thank you for the members. Thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. A lot. The Mimi Show. I'm going to get my nails done sometime this week. Mimi Show. Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's about Meghan. Wasn't it all today? Did you get enough of Meghan today? Woo! The Mimi Show, the Mimi Show. It's the Mimi Show. What happened? Did it go off? Okay. Mimi Show. It was a lot of Mimi today. Woo! Enough of it. Just Mimi. Too much Mimi. Thank you guys. Bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Kisses to you all. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a lovely night.